What's up, guys? So I'm gonna show you guys my basement where it flooded. That's usually where the water comes out, right at the corner, and that's usually where it floods this whole area. But from that other night that we had that really bad storm where it was raining and snowing, my basement got flooded really bad. So the water came all the way up to, I'm sure it passed this area too. I think it's right in this area over here. But after I'm done drying this area up, I'm gonna have to open this area over here up and try to dry this spot over here. I know everything's kind of crowded and cramped up over here, but I kind of have no choice. This, it doesn't happen often because I did get a little trap up there to stop the water from coming, but it still comes once in a while. I don't know what happened that night. I didn't go out there to look, but I might have to just try redirecting the gutter so that it goes further out. And if you're wondering who's talking, it's this guy right here. He is always in my arms. Yeah. I've held him for about, man, he's almost a year. I think next month is his birthday. No. He was born July. So he's got three more months. But yeah, this guy right here. Braden, say hi. He has been in my arms for the longest time, man. Such a crybaby too if he doesn't get to hang out in my arms. So this is where I work out. This is my gym. It's not the greatest right now. I had to move some certain things over here. So like the piano, that was from the other room. I'll show you why. Since I'm at it, I might as well show you guys my little man cave / studio. So I got my refrigerators. I have drinks in there usually, but as of right now, I don't have anything in there. We have the laundry room, and then the bathroom is right there. This is a bandao. So I actually bought this from this lady on Facebook, and this is it's like a sewing that they do. My mom used to do this when we were younger, and she would get my sisters to help out too. But this is one thing that the Hmong ladies back in Laos and Thailand, they would actually sew, and they would just sit there and sew these and try to sell them for money. And the lady that I bought it from, she had some huge one. I mean, they were like as big as this wall or even bigger. But yeah, this lady, she had a bunch of them. I think she buys them for cheap over there, and then she brings them over here to sell. But she makes good business, that's for sure. This is my little studio. So I got my 3D prints up there. Yes, I print 3D stuff because it's pretty useful. My TV, my sportsmanship award. Let's talk about that. I remember this is my wrestling sportsmanship award, and when I got this, it was so funny. When I first heard about this award, and they were talking about it, and they were talking about the person that was gonna get it, I was just thinking, who the hell is that? And then so far they called my name, and I couldn't believe that they actually gave me this award. This is actually the sportsmanship award. So it's like one of the top award that you could get in any kind of sport, because, well, a sportsmanship award is, or you respect others, in other words. Here's my little library / video game library. I had to move some certain things around because I was trying to get it to be a little bit more cozy. The desk over here was actually more in the middle, and this futon that doesn't have a mattress right now was actually over here. But I switched it around. I actually had to cut a little bit off of the futon to actually make these two fit next to together, but they are literally flush to the wall, so they're not going anywhere. My son Preston, he actually plays game over here, so I have his little thing set up. This is just recent, by the way. Trent plays over here, so they kind of just play Roblox for now. We're doing their little YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. You'll see so far Trent's only on there, but we do a little bit of martial arts on there too. And then these are my lights, those are my camera. That's the camera I use. And my laptop is right there, my 3D printer, that's my Creality, gosh, I think it's like a SR20. I think it's the SR20. My SR10 is in there, V2, and then that's my SR, I believe that's the 20. So, and I like collecting these little dance toys. You know, if you press the button on their feet or their arm, they actually dance and sing. So every Christmas I go to Big Lots or Menards, and they usually have these toys. And so I would normally get like one or two, or the ones that I like the most, and I collect them because they're really cool actually. My kids love them, but I don't let them play with them very much because they will play with them until they're dead, like literally dead. So here's my little room where I keep most of the stuff. This is the closet, and I used to actually have plants in here because I was planting some vegetables and they were going good. I got the plants, but I didn't get the fruits. So what happened too was the soil I was using for my avocado trees started having bugs in them, and then the bugs started flying around in here, and it was bad. Yep, this is my area where I put certain things. My camera, one of the cameras this is one of the cameras I first bought. It's a Canon Rebel SL2, and I love this camera because I invested in it right when I got my tax money. I got it, and that was the camera I used for the longest time. But I didn't shoot very much. That was the one thing. I wish I could have shot more. And then I bought that gimbal. If anybody wants to buy this gimbal, it's actually brand new still. I bought it. I thought I was going to use it, but it was too big for my little cameras here. So I decided to sell it. By the time I got to using it, it was already too late. The expiration date of returning it expired. So now I have to keep it and try to sell it somewhere else. So it's up on Facebook. Here's some of my other stuff I used. That's the gimbal that I actually used, the Weebill. And the first camera I ever got was this camera right here, the Nikon. The Nikon was the first. Then it was that one, and that one had the flip out screen. That's why I got that one. My books. So most of these books that I got here are actually books from Goodwill, and I buy good books from Goodwill because they're a lot cheaper than brand new, and they're still in great condition. You know, I don't know why people go buy so expensive books when you could go check out at Goodwill, because Goodwill has tons of books. And I always go there just to look for some certain books that I like, or certain books that I think is interesting, and I find tons of books. So that's why I go there, buy books. I buy shot glasses when I go to Goodwill. Maybe I actually might do a little review on what I do and what I buy at Goodwill for you guys. Okay, I gotta set the camera down again because I gotta switch arms. All right, I was holding Braden in my right arm. Now he's in my left arm. He's getting fat. No, he's not getting fat. He's getting heavy. You're not fat, are you? You're not fat. You're just a little. You're growing, baby. So the first thing I ever printed was this siren head, and that was kind of the reason why I got my 3D printers, because Siren Head didn't exist on Amazon yet during that time. My kids love Siren Head, so they wanted a Siren Head so bad, but I couldn't find one. And so I told them, why don't I just print a Siren Head? And so I went and got a 3D printer, and I printed like 4 or 5 Siren Heads for my kids. It took me a while to print because I didn't know how to use the systems, and I didn't know how to use the printers yet. So I had to do a lot of YouTube research, and eventually I figured it out. I learned how to print. I was good with machines. I wasn't great with machines, but I was good with machines. They aren't too complicated to me because I've worked with machines for a long time. And so 3D printing was easy. The hard thing was trying to put the support. So if you see like his hands don't have any support on the bottom. So the 3D printer prints it from the bottom up, and it'll only print it from the bottom up. So you have to put like these blocks going up to the hand, or else when it reaches the hand part, the plastic that melts would just drop to the ground. So that's why you have to put like a support on there to support the hand going up. And like for Groot was like the second thing I printed. Now Groot's hand, his hand comes out like that. And the problem with that is that there's no support under there. So if the plastic, when it reaches to that point, will just print and the plastic would just fall on the ground. So that's why you have to have support on there. So I had to put support under his arms. I had to build my own support. By that time I didn't even know what tree support was, and then eventually I figured out what tree support was. Tree support was so much better. Like Deadpool up there, Deadpool didn't need any support. You actually could build him just without any support and he would look fine. Same thing as the Thing and Colossus. So they didn't need any support, but they were perfectly fine. Ben didn't need any paint, but I painted Deadpool and I painted Colossus. And Deadpool took me like 3 weeks to paint because I had to go over it and over it again, since the paint kind of soaked in to the 3D plastic. So that's why I had to go over and over again for it to kind of come out a little bit more. Goku was very hard to print. Goku over there, oh my gosh. The support that he had, I had to pull him off. It took me a long time to pull it off. Yep. And then that guy right there, that's actually me. My wife got that for me. She got that from China. And the person who did it did a phenomenal job. They did a really good job. It was really funny. She showed the picture to my daughter, and my daughter freaked out because she saw the face. she thought it was me because it looked kind of like me, and she just freaked out. It was so funny. She did it like a scream in the bedroom. Yeah, this is my shelf. Like I said earlier, I have a lot of games in here too, because I loved RPG games and strategy games. So Age of Empires and Dungeons, and okay, the guy who sold me the Dungeon Siege 2 didn't even have the play game in there. That bastard. Yeah, he fooled me. And so I should have opened up and looked, but yeah, those games weren't in there. And so the play CD wasn't in there. But some of my books are here now. Before they were actually on the shelves. But then I had to move everything around so that I was able to kind of have it a little bit more modern and a little, well, the whole purpose was because I wanted to vlog and talk, and so I needed this window to be kind of like the light. So that's why I had to move the desk over here in this area. Before, it was right here where I'm sitting. It was actually like right in this area, and there was really bad lighting, and that's why I had moved it over here. And so that's why you see sometimes I do my little vlogs and I talk. I'm like right here. This is where I do it. This over here was actually my 3D area. All this stuff over here I bought for my 3D stuff. The spray paints, the paints down here. You have to buy a certain paint to paint your 3D prints. Usually they talk about acrylic paint, which will stay on your 3D print better. So those are the paints that I have. My kids kind of come in here and play around sometimes, but the more important stuff I put it a little higher so they can't reach. So my kids talk in here whenever they're telling stories for their YouTube channel. If you haven't seen their YouTube channel, check it out too. I will post it down below. Alright you guys, we'll see you guys in my next video. This is kind of things I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully next time I'll talk about the gloves, okay? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about my gloves next time. So, cause I have tons of gloves, and I'll tell you why I got tons of gloves too. But yeah, we'll see you guys in my next video, and we were gonna talk about gloves next time, alright? So stay tuned, take care, and we'll work hard. Peace.